Do you drive a vehicle under a fleet program? Let Rapid Oil Change help. We specialize in local and national maintenance programs. With parts in stock for most makes and models, our goal is to minimize fleet downtime. Contact us at 601-919-8474.
Rapid Oil Change, where you should be going. If you don't see the rocks, you better keep on rolling.
Hey, everybody, it's John at Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half-price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade Show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2, guntactical.com.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink special, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
Come together right now.
And we're back here on Crossing the Aisle talking about the Epstein case. We went through a pretty long discussion about that this last segment. So I don't know if we want to transition to something else that I was kind of interested in. I don't know if everybody was following the Brandon Confederate Memorial. Lindsey, I know we watched some of that last night.
Yes, we did. So a lot of the people were advocating to move it to the cemetery or to the graveyard.
Yeah, I saw that a lot of people were trying to say, hey, let's move it to I think there's maybe a Confederate cemetery in Brandon or some Confederate section, possibly. I'm not 100% certain of that. But so there was a debate it was the Board of Aldermen, wasn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
And they kept talking about, they had people come up and discuss like whether they should move this monument. And if you know anything about downtown Brandon, there's a Confederate monument, a soldier. It's pretty tall there. It's actually a really nice looking monument. And there's been debate about whether they should move that from where it is based on, the reason people want to move monuments, which Lindsey, we talked about this last time. I'm against the moving of monuments. I was for the changing the state flag, and plenty of reasons why I was for that. I think monuments are different.
It's not my hill to down.
Yeah, I just,
not my issue.
We can't get rid of all history and just pretend like this didn't happen. And I just think like, okay, we're gonna get rid of these monuments because we don't want to look at them anymore. But it's not. The monuments aren't representative of the state. They're just monuments describing historical or honoring historical events. And I think that's different than the flag being a representation of the state. I just think they're two separate issues in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but there's quite a heated debate over there in Brandon. We watched a lot of it, and I don't know. I wonder, what do you think politically, if you're on the Board of Aldermen there in Brandon, that you would do?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm not for moving it, so.
Well, my guess is it's just the voters in Brandon would probably lean to keep it. That's my guess. I would think.
I would think so too.
That would be something. So it's going to be kind of maybe politically untenable for the.
I mean, if they do remove it, maybe Steve Gaines might want it. I guess they could put it in his yard or something.
Give it to Steve Gaines. Like, put the monument in his yard. Yeah, that would be. That's a good
option.
Point.
It's an option.
Yeah, I guess you could put it right at the ranking. Is it the? It's not the prayer breakfast. It's the breakfast, like the Republican.
It's like the GOP.
Mm-hmm. Put it over there. They're having the breakfast. They can have the breakfast around the monument. So, all kidding aside, guys, they go to that breakfast. But the Steve Gaines mark was on Lindsey, and it was funny. But
look, you never say. I say stuff.
That was pretty funny. Put it in Steve Gaines' yard. Yeah, that's I mean, I imagine he'd probably be okay with that. But so I don't. So I don't know. Like, I don't have.
Well, what's his name wants it in the cemetery.
It was Lance Stevens who spoke. He wanted it. I mean, he made some. Look, I think there's interesting arguments on both sides. I'm not calling anybody stupid for wanting it to keep it or wanting to move it. I think there's legitimate arguments on both sides of this issue.
Lance had a poster board and everything. He said he would give the first $5,000 in order to relocate it to the cemetery.
Yeah, I mean, and look, his arguments were related to, would this prevent people from wanting to move to Rankin County or move to Brandon?
I'm sorry, that statue has not been the reason for anyone to leave Rankin County or anyone to come to Rankin County. I just don't believe that. Who really cares that much?
I agree with you on the statue. Yeah, I don't think anybody like sees the Confederate statue and is like, first of all, they probably even know that it's a freaking Confederate statue. Most people
I don't think most people probably don't even know what it means.
I know if you look at test scores, like I think it's something around 75% of college seniors can't pass a basic U.S. history test.
And then, of course, the Department of Education in Mississippi just voted not to have history testing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would think that over half the American public probably doesn't know what years the Civil War happened. I would assume that just based on the data I'm looking at, where the college seniors can't pass a basic U.S. history test. So I don't think people are just driving around looking at that like, oh my God, that's a Confederate statue. Now it was different with the state flag because it was obvious what that was. Like we saw that's a Confederate battle flag. No mistaking what that is. I get it. But this is just a statue in the middle of the town. It's a really pretty statue too, and I just don't think people are just saying, man, I'm going to move to Brandon because that freaking statue is right there, that racist statue.
I've got a great job opportunity and I'm going to be making lots more money than I am where I am now. But because that statue's over there, I'm not going. Whatever.
I mean, if it was like a monument to the Ku Klux Klan, I could see that argument there.
But
like
it's not.
But it's
and
not.
those men back then, they were fighting for what they believed was right and what they'd been taught. And, were brave to do it, gave their lives. I mean, I'm not saying that everything that they did back in those days was right. Obviously, we don't agree with having slaves, but that was
that's a bad thing.
Yeah, of course it is, and it's heartbreaking that people were treated as less than just because of their skin color. But that was the way the world was then.
Yeah,
that's what they knew.
Well, also, and you have to look at it from if you look at it in the historical context of it, the guys that were actually doing the fighting were just broke dudes. They weren't the rich. The rich folks weren't fighting. I mean, some of them were officers and whatnot. But you had a bunch of slaves and a plantation, you probably weren't out there on the front lines.
Those people with the red coats looked like they had some expensive. Those coats looked nice.
That was in the Revolutionary War, though. Different war. Different. That was those American Revolution. They did have very nice uniforms, Lindsey. But that was during the Revolution. The South, actually, uniforms were not as nice at that point because they were poor and, the average citizens were fighting.
So it wasn't the poor people that fought in the redcoats?
No. That was the English.
And they had money?
Well, I mean, some people had money in the English, but they weren't. I mean, they were a professional army that were a part of the English army and were sent over here from England. So it was in the Confederacy was more kind of pulled together from the poor, essentially. A lot of poor people were fought in the Confederacy that weren't fighting for slaves. I mean, being honest, a lot of them weren't. Now the rich class, the planter class, the people that own plantations, well, yeah, they were using the poor people to fight for what their economic advantages, for sure. But has that ever changed throughout history? I mean, we've seen that. We're going to see that for as long as humans are here. The rich are going to use the poor to fight their wars. I mean, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But that's just being honest. That's what happens, and that's what happened in the during the Civil War. So, but no, the Confederacy guys were not wearing the red coats. So I'm glad we cleared that one up.
I wasn't saying they were. I was just you were saying. That when they fought in the war, they was like the poor guys, and I just thought of those red coats look nice.
I mean, really nice.
They look like they were kind of expensive.
The English took pride in their army. They had at that point, the English army was probably the most powerful in the world in the 18th century.
I don't know why you would really need a nice coat. I mean, it's probably just end up with bullet holes in it. And
it's probably really hot to fight in the way they fought us. We used to, when I was in the Marines, call it like we'd have to fight in our dress blues, like how uncomfortable that would be. That's kind of what they did
especially when they had those wigs on.
They had the wigs, right? They're wearing the wigs. That's got to be kind of hot too. So,
yeah. So it's miserable.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the way you lined up and just shot at each other. Like, I'm not doing that. No, I'm just like, okay, now your turn.
Yeah,
no thanks. Like, this sucks. Like, who got signed up for that? It's like, who came up with that idea? Let's just stand in a line and shoot each other. Kidding aside, based on modern weaponry and those war tactics back then. But anyway, it's not something anybody would want to do. And
they just challenged each other to like one-on-one duels.
Now, the dueling thing, I think, is a good idea. I'm all about
You want that to happen today, though.
Yeah, I'm 100% for duels. I think dueling is a lost art that we don't have that we should bring back. We should make lawful again. Well, especially in the age of the internet, because what we do is we feel in this age of the world, we feel so comfortable talking smack to people we don't know. Like, or even people we do know behind a keyboard or a phone or whatever. We say things that we never would say to each other in person. So I just feel like, hey, look, if you could just challenge that guy to a duel, it would cut down on the meanness on the internet.
I don't know. I think I pretty much say what I'm going to say to your face or not.
Well, you do, but that's different. Like, I'm talking about like people, you're just like, you're in your comment thread and like, they're like, you're a commie moron, or, they'll look at somebody like, you're just a Nazi that, wants to do. I mean, if somebody they're not going to say that to your face. Now, if they did, you'd be like, okay, look, you want to say that? How about a duel? Let's do the duel. And that worked effectively back in the 18th and 19th century.
But people died.
Yeah, but that was the point. That would make you stop talking crap because you might die. So they're like, not everybody was like, or you could retract your statement. That was part of the challenge of dueling. You could retract your statement. So I think if you had that system now, it would cut down on online harassment of people. It really would. It's like, look, I'm gonna challenge you to a duel. And you
I don't know, Shaun.
And if you don't take it, you're a B word,
I'd rather just let the courts handle it instead of letting people run free with guns on the street. And
there's so many people online I've wanted to challenge to a duel for last 10, 15 years.
So weird.
Yeah, I used to get a point where people were arguing. This is before the radio, and I would just put my address there. I was like, look, if you're gonna say that to me, you can come to my house and say it to me. No one ever took me up on that offer. But it's just because people have it's this world we live in where with the online world where we're just really rude. That we wouldn't be in person. We have no manners anymore. We can't debate intelligently. We just hate on each other.
You just line the people up of Rankin County and let them duel in front of the statue.
That's what I'm saying. Let them duel. And this would solve it, right? Let's let them duel. Bring back duel. Make America duel again, folks. That's what I'm saying. Make America duel again.
Well, we want to know what you think too. What do you think about the statue in Rankin County? Should they leave it? Should they remove it? Should they put it in Steve Gaines' front yard? Should they send it to the cemetery? You can call let us know 601-879-0002. Talk to us right here live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Studios of Mississippi. But we got to go to a commercial break real quick. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Peace, love, and pizza. It's Collie Days at Johnny's Pizza House. Load up the crew and hit the road with nothing but good vibes and better pizza. It's all about that crunchy new cauliflower crust. 10 inches of baked bliss. Light, crispy, and full of flavor. It's the ultimate slice for summer chilling. Best enjoyed with sunshine and good company. Nothing but love served one slice at a time. But don't wait. This trip's for a limited time only. Peace, love, and pizza. Happy Collie Days from Johnny's Pizza House.
I'm Shaun Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems. And now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty. And right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym, 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
CBS News Brief. The death toll from the Texas flood stands at 109 now. President Trump said today he still plans to go to the region Friday, and he thanked those who have helped in the search and rescue operations.
I think a lot of lives have been saved. That could have been as bad as it was, and you could have lost double or triple. This thing was just really horrible.
Trump lashed out at Russian President Putin today and hinted new sanctions could be on the table. Eleanor Watson reports he's also resuming military assistance to Ukraine.
What Ukraine has been asking for, really pleading for, are additional interceptor missiles that can shoot down incoming drones and missiles aimed at Ukrainian cities.
It's been a long time coming. Now travelers at some airports no longer have to remove their shoes at TSA checkpoints.
Just one more step that maybe we don't need. I feel pretty good about it, especially when I'm not wearing socks today.
Checking the numbers on Wall Street, stocks are mixed today. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
I'm on a diet. I don't want to be down there at Tom's Fried Pies. We had a good time. When I tell you the crust was flaky, I'm talking about buttery. This was nothing like I've ever tasted. Ever. I mean, I've never tasted anything like that, man. It was nice. Atmosphere was nice. Everybody there was nice. Because I'll be back, even though I don't supposed to with my diet. I really enjoyed myself.
Tom'sFriedPies.com. Tom'sFriedPies.com.
ABS causes mass hysteria by providing office tech that actually does its job.
Relax. At Advantage Business Systems, we know office technology isn't that exciting. But we do know it is life-changing. Work-life changing, that is. Because the latest copiers, printers, mailing machines, and even telephone systems can keep your office running smoothly. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, helping your business do business.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Mon. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
Come together.
Welcome back to Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey, where we're trying to make dueling great again.
No, we're not.
And Lindsey, with her legislative experience at the Mississippi State legislature, I think she can push this bill along with her parental rights agenda.
I'm good.
Well, I mean, you think about it, it kind of goes in with parental rights. And here's
No,
why
it does not.
It does. Listen to this, because you guys are always worried about children being harassed online, right? That's a big thing these days. Kids get harassed, online bullying.
But I don't want them to duel it out and shoot each other.
We'll give Mia a gun, right? And then she can challenge somebody to a duel.
That is the scariest thing I've ever heard.
No,
in my
we're
life.
not really going to do that. So, I mean, yeah, that's okay. That part, there's an age limit for dueling. You got to be above 21.
CBS is going to be at my door when I get home.
You got to be above 21 to do the duel, because we don't want to give the high school students into this dueling thing, because that could get really out of whack. But,
yeah, I mean, look at the school shootings we've seen.
yeah, we don't need them to do it. You got to be over 21, and then you can sign up. You can fill out a form.
Fred is listening to this, and you're giving him ideas.
You
I
fill out a
think
form.
you need to stop.
And it's just it's a form too, whether you want to duel or not. So I think you could put this forth in some of your future bills next session. So I'm all the way down for that.
No.
That's it. Anyway, what we have seen, though, changing topics for a minute here. Did you want to see how the Capitol Police 911 system is not working?
I did see that.
It's something to do with their online function. Is that right? Or
I'm not sure. I don't know that I've read all that much about it, but I did see something about it. I saw a headline come across.
Yeah, it says, so I mean, days after the law expanding its territory, Capitol Police is still not set up to receive most of its 911 calls directly from residents. on July 1st, that district, which we're talking about, which is a CCID, the Capitol Complex Improvement District, which is policed by the Capitol Police, the ones, the Capitol Police that are always the point of drama in the city, it seems like, especially the last few days, they got more territory. So, but if you call 911, you're going to be routed from a dispatcher from the Jackson Police Department to Capitol Police.
And because of that expansion, that could be a reason why there was an increase in murders in the CCID. I mean, CJ Lemaster's just letting you know that could be a reason.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about the Capitol Police this week, y'all, because there is a large segment in this city, this metro area, that just is like destined to see them fail for some reason. I don't really know why. I haven't quite figured it out. It seems to me like I was a government employee for a very long time at the DA's office and the Attorney General's office. Y'all work for government and you make the same amount of money, depending on what position you're in. I mean, don't you want to see everybody? If somebody else succeeds, then that's good for everybody in a way. It's not like you're. I don't know. It's not a competition for more cash. You're a government employee, so it's about public service, not big. Now, I could see like if you work for, some private company and you want to beat your opponent or your coworkers or colleagues, you want to do better because you're going to make more money and you're always in the pursuit of more money. Totally understand that. I get that. But everybody works for government. Like, you're in the business of public service, not getting trophies for how good you are. So,
well, I mean, this issue, the 911 issue, having to go through a system and then being sent to them that's delaying emergency personnel or whatever we want to call them to getting to the scene of an emergency.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know why that's taking so long to come into fruition, but it seems to be an issue. So hopefully they're going to get that.
It says that the center has yet to go online due to issues with the service provider. Well, then get another service provider. I mean, they didn't mind changing garbage contractors when it suited them.
Yeah. I mean, does that have anything to do with the city of Jackson, or is this an issue with the state? Yeah. So I thought that was Capitol Police was dealing with the service provider. And I don't know why.
Maybe so.
Yeah, because it says that their call center went online, or hasn't gone online because it's due to issues with their service provider. So I don't think the city of Jackson is actually to blame it on that one. There.
Well, I mean, they are for everything else.
Right. But so that, I mean, we've seen out there in the media this week where they're trying to say like, okay, well, the Capitol Police have not reduced crime. The murders are, getting close to equaling what they were last year, which is they're at 7 in the CCID right now. There were 8 total last year. It's really just to be this narrative that wants to be pushed that the Capitol Police are not doing their job. We didn't need to have HB 1020 and set up this district with this police force, and therefore, like, it was a mistake, and JPD could just handle this all by themselves. And I'm not knocking JPD. I love JPD. I worked with those guys for a long time alongside those guys. And, but giving them assistance, they already had an unmanageable job. And then they got this whole state-funded police force that have done an amazing job enforcing.
And they're working minus 20 officers. They have 20 vacant positions right now.
Is that okay? Yeah, I mean, and JPD's down. Like, I know they need to hire a ton more officers. So,
I mean, that's probably not the job that sounds enticing to people.
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially under the former mayor. Now, I'm hopefully with Mayor Horn, that's going to change. I think it will. I've heard nothing but really good things from local law enforcement about him, or the way their opinions about him recently.
You think he'll replace Chief Wade?
I don't know. I mean, I hope he doesn't. I like Chief Wade. I think Chief Wade without the shackles of Chokwe Lumumba is going to be even better. I think he did a great job. I mean, can you imagine navigating when you're working for that a-hole?
Well, it's a running joke between you and I that Chief Wade has no time to do his actual job because he's too busy giving statements and press conferences on all the crime that's actually happening in Jackson, that he doesn't even have time to actually do a real job, because he's always making a statement.
He's always making a statement constantly. And because he's constantly.
You watch the news and it's like, here's Chief Wade with a statement on this murder. And 5 seconds later, it's like, here's Chief Wade with a statement on this murder and this crime. And that's all he has time to do.
Yeah, it's always like, all right, here comes Chief Wade talking about, this murder happened, or this armed robbery happened. Then I saw him the other day, he was like at the stew pot talking about, hey, we're going to arrest you homeless people because there's a new law now. He's always out there kind of, making these, make a lot of statements. I get it. I know it's a lot of work. I think he's done a good job. And I think he's going to do an even better job without.
I was going to say, it's got to be hard to do a good job when you're under that administration, under Chokwe.
Yeah.
Like, how do you?
When you work for a messed up politician, trust me, I have done that before. It is hard because you're shackled by their stupidity. And I've been that guy, been there working for that person. Former DA of Hinds County, and not the current one. Well, the current one's got his problem, but I never worked for him. He's
got some problems though.
Where when you're working for someone that is a lunatic, I mean, just like that's my experience because I had worked for somebody who was an abject lunatic, and everybody there is walking on pins and needles in your administration, your office. So I imagine that was going on at JPD with Chief Wade. You're overseen by this mayor who doesn't like law enforcement anyway and doesn't want to solve any crime. Once actually, I felt like he wanted more crime. It was good for his business, and that is tough when you have that that kind of a boss, somebody to report to. Having been there under that situation, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. So I think Chief Wade's a good man, and I think he's got a shot now. Now, if Mayor Horn wants to replace him, that's his right. He's a new mayor. He gets his own people.
Mm-hmm.
Respect that too. I mean, I understand that. I'm sure Chief Wade's a professional. He'll understand that as well. I just think you should give him some more time and see what happens.
You know what else is not easy to do?
What?
To live in Mississippi and wake up with no air conditioning.
That sucks.
And that happened to me.
Mm-hmm. This past weekend. It was terrible.
Holiday weekend,
Mm-hmm.
middle of the night, air goes out. And
Yep.
Shaun, you know me, I'm not a happy camper.
No, you're not.
When
Most of the time, but definitely not then.
And thankfully, it didn't last very long. But I said
Yeah.
that to say, Pure Air Consultants does a great job.
They do.
And if you think that maybe you need your system looked at or cleaned or checked, get it checked before it goes out.
Yeah, don't be like Lindsey.
Don't be me.
On July the 5th, like a terrible day, their kids are all like sucking ice cubes around the house.
They were putting their
Just-
shirts in the freezer and then just eating ice and trying everything that we could think of to stay cool. And
because she didn't call Pure Air Consultants.
That's
and
right.
If you had, like, it'd have been different.
it wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't happen. So I mean,
They
everybody
could have fixed the problem.
contact Pure Air Consultants, and they will get you right. It is important this time of year.
It absolutely
I mean-
is. And I don't know how people lived before air conditioning. I really don't.
Well, I believe the people that settled Mississippi,
They had to be the winter.
They
Had
came
to
in
be.
December. They pulled the wagon up. They're like on December 1st, like, it's so nice. It's like 62. It's
Yeah,
nice
because had they done
degrees.
it on July 5th, they'd
Yeah,
have said,
they'd-
we're getting the heck out of here. Is this hell?
Yeah, we're like, yeah, we're gonna keep on moving westward. We don't want to stay here. Like, this is a little ridiculous. So I don't understand how people lived here before the invention of air conditioning. That must have
I
been.
know. It had to be miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable.
Didn't people like sleep on the porch too? There's all this kind of like.
I imagine they
think
did.
they
And I'm
did.
sure they all kept their windows open and
Mhm. They had those in my house. My house was built in like 1925 ish, and there's what's called an attic fan in the attic. You ever heard of one of those?
yeah, well, we had one in my house in Yazoo.
Okay. So
we would turn it on. Yeah, I guess it did kind of blow some air.
Mm-hmm.
It would kind of cool things
Yeah,
off.
that's what they would use back in the day. Like turn that in, and would suck the air out of the house too, like the hot air, I think. And mine's got a big. Of course, I've never turned it on in the 10 years that I've owned my house, but because there's a big like somebody had written on it, "Do not hit this button."
Oh, that makes me want to hit it. You
No.
should have told
I
me
think
that.
well, blow out all the insulation that I got and everything else. So like it's like, do not touch this. But it looks like something out of a horror movie. It's so giant in there in the attic there. And but at one time, that's what you had to do something to figure out how to.
Yeah, because people
stay
be
cool.
having, I'm sure, heat strokes.
Oh yeah, it was gotta be. freaking
Maybe we're
terrible.
just conditioned now to be cooler. I mean, I wonder over time, did it become
Mhm.
harder to be in the heat because we're conditioned now to having air?
Yeah, I've read that too. I read that it's a lot. We've just become so accustomed to air conditioning that we wouldn't be able to adapt to not having it. But the people that did, if you just always lived that way, you didn't really know any other way. You're like, I'm just gonna be hot as hell all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're just used to it. That's just like your way of operating. So
That life is not for me.
yeah, that sucked. I mean, people always like, oh, look at the back at the good old days. I'm like, did that include the time before air conditioning? Because I don't think that's such a good day. It's
Mm-mm.
like, I don't want to go there.
Nope.
Was there? I mean, maybe there was no online harassment, and maybe there was legalized dueling, which I think is a good thing again. But but the air conditioning not being there was not a good thing. So
Especially if you wore a wig.
if you wore the wig with the beeswax to hold the wig on, don't forget about that. So that's even more disgusting.
I still don't know if you're telling me the truth.
No,
about
it
that.
is the truth. Like to use beeswax to hold the wig on.
So they would get
Lindsey,
beat.
you asked me one time, you were like, oh, was that, why did they style their hair that way? I'm like, it's not their real hair. It's a wig.
I thought it was. I just didn't understand why they would put wigs on like that. Like, what made them want to do
That was
that?
the style. I don't know. Why do people like wear baggy jeans or do like a mohawk? I don't know. It's a style of the time, right? I mean, people have trendy styles. Then they actually were the first transgender people because like they were.
Oh my gosh.
They had the wig and the little.
They were
tights,
not transgender.
And heels. They were heels. Look at it.
They were
Look
not transgender.
But they were dressed like kind of feminine. I mean, if you think about it,
that doesn't mean they were transgender. Transgender doesn't even exist. That's not even a real thing.
They were dressed kind of feminine. And on that note,
That's
we are going to a commercial break. We'll see you all in a moment.
.1039 WYAB.
Malone is a company in motion, striving daily to improve the way the roofing industry operates and is perceived. A leader in commercial and residential roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. Malone means the highest quality materials delivered with expertise workmanship from a claim or construction. At Malone, you've found your roofing and metal walls partner. Malone has proven for generations there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you. More info at ecmalone.com.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Whether you're at home, in your car, or on the field, let Shelter be your shield. Come see me, Jamie Creel.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
B-Dubs cocktails, pretzel knots, and mozzarella sticks. It's all on me today.
Oh, so you're happy hour rich. When the happy hour menu is only $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m.
$3 to $6? That's crazy.
You know we're at happy hour right now from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's happy hour crazy.
We were here yesterday too.
Crazy.
Quit playing. I'm gonna let you pay though. Food, beer, and cocktails for $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m. Buffalo Wild Wings for the greatest of all times. Monday through Friday only. Beer deals available all day at participating locations. Taxes and fees apply. Dine in only. Drink responsibly. Offers vary by location. Void where prohibited.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Tri-County Tree Service, the Jackson Metro's premier company to handle all of your tree service needs. Russ Borland and his team specialize in large tree, low-impact removal. Tri-County Tree Service has the right equipment to safely handle the most technical trim jobs or tree removals. Storm damage can happen year-round, so let them clean it up and they'll deal with your insurance claim. Tri-County Tree Service, by phone at 601-TREE-GUY or online at tricotreeservice.com. That's tricotreeservice.com.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
Come together right now.
Hey, we're back on Crossing the Aisle for our last segment where we'll talk about whatever we want, even because there's no matter what the crazy people in the comments have to say. So, lunatics that don't have a job. And
Yeah, it's gotta be bad when your own dad.
Your own dad fires you.
Your
That's
own
gonna be
dad
rough, right?
fires you.
That's rough. Yeah, and everybody in your town hates you. So I don't know what to do about that. It's kind of suck, and you're unemployable ever again. I hate that.
Yeah.
That's really sucks. So anyway, we are back talking about what was it? AC or dueling or online harassment? What was it?
Or the statue or
The statue. Yeah, there's some people in the comments.
Y'all, Shaun is still learning. He didn't realize what they were comments, and so there's been people
she's
talking
yeah.
to us all through the show, and Shaun didn't know it.
I gotta learn how to operate this thing. We've got everybody else in the comments is cool. There's one psychopath school shooter in there, but other than that, everything's cool. So we'll we're just finishing out the hour where we had gone through the dueling topic and the AC and whatnot. But anyway, Lindsey, any more final thoughts on all that today?
No, I mean, I'm just gonna say everybody should check us out tonight at 8:00 and start joining us for our nightly news.
Yeah, we are trying to do this run of this nightly news program with Lindsey and Clay and I to compete against the mainstream media, the legacy media, whatever you call it, the ones that are telling
The ones that lie to you.
Yeah, and they're basically like, filling you with BS narratives, like young father shot by Mississippi officers.
Or that there's no Epstein list.
There's no Epstein list. Yeah, somebody I saw in the comments said this made one of the worst responses that Donald Trump's ever had.
I mean, his own base is pretty upset about this.
I can't believe
again, he campaigned on it, and then to act like you're angry that it's being brought up.
Yeah,
you have it. That's one promise that you made that you unkept.
Yeah, no, exactly. You have not, and it's really, really made people mad. Really, people are really, really mad about it. So I don't know what to I wonder what the end result of this is. Do you think that it's going to be, and we real quick, I got about 30 seconds, who gets fired from this?
I mean, I think if anybody, it's got to be Bondi. She's the one who said that the list was sitting on her desk.
That's my thought process. It's going to be Bondi. Bondi's got to go. And on that note,
and so
y'all, we got to
back,
go. And we will see
tomorrow.
you tomorrow. And we'll see you tonight at 8:00. Peace.